first, we brought all the lines from the HB1416 student data from the Power BI because Power BI has the campus entries, unlike the SQL Server. So then we changed all we needed to know. And then if the hours were question mark, we made them a 0. And then we filtered some of the columns. And then from these rows, we looked at the test results from 2024. And then we brought the lines only says mastery is equal to did not meet. So that filters down to us 14,433. Now, first one is retained students code. So I had to look at the lines where the student's current grade is less than 9. And then I just looked at who has the same grade as the last year. And then these are the students whose grade level is less than 9. So we have 8th graders here. But if the student is 9th grade, okay, and then less than 8, and then here, the students who have the same grade level as last year is 69 records. We will group them by the test mastery, so it doesn't change the number of rows we got, 69. We still checked if we got any duplicate student here. So this is a district campus subject grade and TSDS ID. And we gave them the code, student does not participate because student is retained. And even though the requirement was yes, and we were some hours, we're just changing them to no and 0. And then this one is, we changed the column numbers. So that's total of, this is just total of 14 fields and 69 records. So here, this data set is numbered as student does not participate because the student was retained. And we have 69 student and subject participation combination. And then this just sends, it just gives us all the HB1416 students who don't have to complete hours because they were retained students. Now, after this, this was the 2024, and this was the failed students, did not meet students. So from this one, we took another entry, and then we looked at, so these are the students still, they failed the test, and then TIA designation is not null. So I have 4,115 records here, which all these teachers, they have a TIA designation. So here, these are the students, they failed and then they don't have a TIA designated teacher assigned. Now, we looked at their notes just in case our system didn't label them as TIA designated, but their notes, they were saying that they are TIA designated teachers. We got 227 records like this due to the campus reasons. And then for this one, I still looked at the unique values. And this one, nothing. I gave them code number 3, and these also got code number 3, 227 here. 300,745 here. That's the total records. So all of these are no, and then their hours are 0. That's also 14 fields. So these are the students that they will not receive intervention because they have TIA designated hours. So what we did is now, I got this one and this one. So I took the retained students and I took the TIA designated ones and combined them together. That makes a total of 4,080 records. And then I wanted to just check if any student shows up under both codes. And then, so yeah, 4,080, and this many students, they were the same. They actually did fail, but they got the code of a TIA teacher because they have both. They failed the class and they have the TIA designated teacher. Therefore, this is how we got rid of the intersection of these two sets. So this is now what we have to keep. And then this 4,054 records, they have two different codes. Their codes here is retained or TIA. So when I group the codes here, there will be only two codes. These are the TIA assigned students and retained students. Okay, so I also bring opt-out here so far. Okay, so when we look at who is opt-out, for this one, we're receiving the data from, again, we took the 2024 tests and then did not meet. And here, we looked at the students who is the notes, they had the keyword of parents, and then that's gonna give me 39 records, because for these 39 records, in my notes, it says that parent opted out. I wanted to check if any student was repeating, and then this one gave me no student. So I gave them a code of parent opt-out, and then this one is no and 0 because parent didn't want it. And then we made the columns unique, and we checked the duplicate records one more time. And then these are the students which the parent was opt-out. So, okay. He doesn't participate. Oops. What happened here? Okay. So that's the parent opt-out one. And then I'm gonna run this. Okay, delete this, delete this. Can you stay? Okay. So these three now codes. Okay. We combine them here. That's total of 4,080 records. We wanted to check if we have any duplicate one here. 26 of them, as we checked before, they both failed and are unique, so we don't need to go through this. Now we're just going to go through the unique. And then for this one, I want to just delete this tool now. Okay. Now the fourth container is they already assigned 2 subjects. For this one, let's see what we did. I think something broke here. I feel like something is broken here. Maybe not. So I brought this one more time. And then I made them equal. Again, I only wanted to 2024 and did not meet once. This cross-tab tool here tells me the status of the students, but I'm not using it. What I'm doing is I'm actually grouping the students. So student ID, student name, grade, previous grade, their TIA designation, status of their teachers, test name short, and their mastery and note. So what happens here is I wanted to just join what I have currently coded, these 3 on the left, and then what I have on the right. So it happens that this many is the intersection, the join of the 2. This many student is common in both groups. So we don't need them. But we needed these people, these records, to check what happens. So I am not using the intersected ones. I'm only using the ones which exist only for tutorial receiving column. So I did use the cross tab here. After the cross tab, my data looks like this. District, campus, student number, student name, grade, previous grade, note. And then I have the did not meet status for each 4 subjects for these students. That's what I have. Now, what I did is from this table, I filtered out the students who did not pass the math, and they also did not pass the ELA. So this many students, they failed both math and ELA test. And then out of these 2 groups, I also checked the students who did not pass the science. So they also didn't pass the science, and they don't have assigned teacher. They didn't retain, the parent didn't opt out. So for these people, I said for science, make them number 4. They already have 2 subjects. So they required hours will be 0 and no and 0. But then if the students pass the science, but then I said, okay, these of the students, they pass the science, but is there a way that they fail the social studies? And then I had 22 records coming this way. So for them, I said, they can't also do the social studies because they already have 2 subjects. And then this is how I made them 14 columns. And what happens is this 14 columns and this 14 columns under this union. So for this union, let's see. There's another union coming from here. Okay, so for this union, we have 2, 3, 1. So this number 3 is, these are the students did not meet. So they did fail the science, but they also failed the social studies. I got 46 record like this, 46. Yes. And then for this, I said the subject will be also again social studies, and we can't assign them both math or social studies. Maybe I didn't have to look at this part. Maybe. Let's just not put this portion. Connection. Okay. So, because if I only, okay. So here, one student, right now, ninth grade, Mila, Mia Betancourt. Let's just look at this student. Copy. And then San Antonio Academy. So ELA, yes, math, yes, and social studies and science, no. So ELA, math, and science and social studies, they are no. But actually, for just if we just this one for this visual, we can just test name advanced contains 2024. If we apply to the 2024 tests, everything is did not meet, but the student has only ELA and math. So right now with my code, if we look at the logic, and if I don't bring this, and then after this union, let's see what happens to Mia here. Mia just shows up once. It says that Mia, science does not participate. Yes, but then she is going to be, she's supposed to have also don't participate in social studies. So if I take this filter now, I think if I don't union it, her social studies situation will be here. Yes, we were leaving social studies here. So we're gonna have to combine this to our union. And then when I delete this now here, I am going to have that Mia will be exempt from social studies and science because she already failed math and ELA, and she's leaving instructions for those two subjects. So here now, it says that San Antonio Academy, Mia does not participate in science and does not participate in social studies. So now this is code 4. Code 4 works perfectly. So now this part, so if we just check what code we have so far, let's just look at this. So this takes care of code 2, 3, 2, and then this is code 4 is done. And then this is 1, 2, 3. So it has to go into here. Okay. So this one, yes, it's going here. And then these three are coming here. Like, and this one, can we check what happens to Code for her code was ID is this. This is let me combine these. So after this fourth one, it's going here to here. If I put her code, let's see what happens. Capital. Yeah. Okay. Mia is exempt from social studies and she's exempt from science. Okay. Now, okay. So, uh, okay. Just copy this filter here and then paste it. And for Mia, over here, what does it show? It shows 4 lines, and then and all of them comes with this code that student participate in supplemental instruction. And then that's what it shows here. What we have to show on the left, it was just showing 2 for science and social studies. But here, oh yeah, the names are not matching. So here subject shows as social studies. What we're gonna have to do is, let's just do an update here. And then we're gonna say, if if subject equals this, then we're gonna match with the name here. As it will be the subject. And if, okay. Okay. Now here we have 4 entries for this person. Here I have 2 so far, and then we're gonna continue with these. So when they don't intersect, I'm just gonna copy this. We have to figure out what is she receiving instruction of. So here, let's look at here. We need to have 2 lines of number 1 for her. Okay. ELA and math is number 1. Student is participating. And then here, we have this many students that they are receiving, they're receiving instructions. So all of these, their code is number 1. I want to just get a unique duplicate, unique 2 will be coming here. And then for unique, district, campus, subject, and then PSTS ID. And then this is the file which will give me just 1 student is participating. Run. Okay, so this one, let's save it so far. Okay. Now over here somewhere, up here, right? Because this is what I was checking for. I had this and this combined. Now I have this union 2. And then for this union 2, we're just gonna delete this connection. Okay. And then I am going to take this or this. Yes. So for the student, so Deborah participates in ELA, participates in math, but does not participate in these 2 things. So what is this, by the way? For, okay. Okay. If we just look at the student, Mia, let's see, what is the final status for her? Yes. So San Antonio Academy. participates in math, participates in ELA, except, okay. So we can just now update this file. All students. Okay. And then we're gonna close this and save this.